Let's look forward. Later today, we'll get auto sales numbers.
Yeah, they should be.
Now, they may have slowed down their sales run in October. That's according to a BloombergQuint poll. And that's because of the difference in the way the festive season has played out between last year and this year. Isn't that right, Yatin?
Absolutely, Menaka. And if you look at the last year's base, that was high because of the festive season. And this time, probably we couldn't see the kind of growth that we saw last year. Now, if you look at companies like Maruti, of course, they will do well. Given the fact that we have healthy bookings coming in for Baleno, Brezza, the new Swift Desire, the order books, the sheer size of order book will lead to a growth. Remember, they are in a capacity constraint. So 12 to 13% is usually what Maruti can do at the higher end. As far as Mahindra & Mahindra automotive and tractor segment is concerned, we'll expect a deep decline there. Of course, in the last 3-4 months, we have seen tractor sales pick up. But clearly, the kind of numbers that were delivered last year, the base is so high that probably, on the Mahindra & Mahindra tractor, despite posting a 40,000 plus kind of a tractor sales number, will see a decline of 15%. Of course, Tata Motors, given the fact that the commercial vehicle base was small, probably we could see a 3 to 4% growth there. And more importantly, for the passenger vehicle segment, given the fact that there has been a very big increase in their overall sales, we could see overall growth of 4% there. Ashok Leyland, keeping up the momentum. Last year, the commercial vehicle base was small, so we could expect a 8 to 10% growth there. As you can see, the kind of figures that I'm talking about, so M&M tractors probably, despite a 38,500, 40,000 figure, could see a decline given the fact that they posted a sale number of 45,000 last festive season. But this festive season, they were able to do a little over 50,000 units, and this is how you can see the overall matrix. Of course, two-wheeler players will be in focus. Remember, we have various brokerages like Motilal Oswal and SBI Cap Securities talking about the fact that there has been a very large inventory pile-up as far as the two-wheeler players are concerned, and probably because of the pile-up that we saw in September, October will not be that great. So Hero MotoCorp, flattish kind of a sales figure. Bajaj Auto, remember, we have not only the domestic market picking up because of a low base, but the export markets are also extremely doing well for a company like Bajaj Auto. TVS Motors, the beauty is that despite the decline in the motorcycle sales, the scooter sales have seen double-digit growth. So the overall volume picture will not be that bad as it was a few months back. And Royal Enfield, clearly on the other kind of order book that they have, which is the premium biking segment, because of that we could see a 20-22% growth. So largely, two-wheeler players expected to remain flat on a year-on-year basis.
So that's because the festive season got broken up this year between September and October versus last year, all of it coming in the month of October, right?
Yeah. And more importantly, there is a decent amount of inventory pile up, in the motorcycle segment. Scooters are doing well, but motorcycles are not doing that well.
What is that? Very ambitious restocking after GST?
Yeah. Restocking and general anticipation of a very good, festive season, given the fact that we had good monsoon. So Hero Moto derives almost half of their sales from the rural markets. Of course, there were good sales, but the kind
they
of...
did very well, right? Didn't they report that 3 lakh number?
Yeah, but the kind of inventory pushes that happened, and remember, during that BS4 transition period, all these auto two-wheeler players had given massive discounts. So, we had a lot of sales happening in the last 3-4 months, and probably that base effect or that demand effect will probably play out on two-wheeler players.
Yeah, I must add, we spoke to Escorts yesterday.
Yeah, I know. You had an interesting conversation on tractor sales.
Yes, so because of that quarter and the stock did come off a bit, but he mentioned that October will be a soft month. I mean, we tried to ask him in 2 different ways, but he was fairly candid that October will be see a soft month for tractor growth. And when asked about whether November and December could actually show a good jump because of the base effect due to demon, he mentioned that yes, the base effect may result in the optical number looking good, but it almost seemed as if he kind of mentioned that the O&D quarter will not be really that good.
O&D quarter?
October, November, December quarter will not be all that great for tractor companies.
O&D.
Yeah. You could well say OMG as well, yeah? Oh,
no, I don't know, but what do you do? So you do this, I'm so sorry, we're taking away from your auto sales data, but this deserves attention.
Sure.
So it's what, JFM?
Yes.
When did this start?
AMJ.
Please tell me some brokerage report did not start this.
Some time ago.
It must have been a
Well,
brokerage
please tell
report.
me, Neeraj, you didn't invent this.
No, I didn't understand.
It has to be a brokerage report.
No.
Okay, so October, November, December quarter, I think Bharat Madan quite categorically mentioned that it won't be necessarily a great month.
Did he mention why he thought that was the case?
He just said
Because tractor sales have done rather well in the last couple
they're
of
coming
months.
off. So as Yatin said, I think October will also be a slightly soft month, and Bharat Madan kind of reaffirmed.
Yeah, and in the analyst conference call, so remember, the management of Escort spoke to us exclusively before the analyst conference call, in which he gave
brownie
details.
point scoring there, early morning.
Yeah, and you know, post the analyst conference call, I think a lot of brokerages have been talking about the fact that in the next 3 to 4 months, probably we could not see very high growth in a tractor segment despite having a good monsoon, because probably the base effect will pan out, or probably the kind of sales that they have done in the last 3-4 months, probably that effect might also lead to slower growth. Growth will be there, of course.
Maybe the earlier sales that have happened in the year. I don't know if that's the reason, quite frankly. I mean, because otherwise, the base is really favorable for almost all auto companies, November and December.
Base is favorable for everybody, and nobody should look at year-on-year numbers in November and December for anything. I mean,
Yeah, but which is
Because of the demon effect.
Yeah, but because what you're saying that despite that, optically it may look great, but otherwise maybe not necessarily.
then it shows that things are perhaps not as good as some of the earlier numbers it suggested.
Yeah. Let's wait and watch.